So, South Park is genuinely one of my favorite shows ever made. I've been watching it for decades now, literally ever since I was in elementary school, even though I probably shouldn't have been. But over the last few times I've watched it, I've noticed that I find myself laughing more at the jokes and references than the people watching it with me. That's typically because many of the references are kind of dated. If you weren't around when the episodes came out, it's likely you will have missed a lot of great jokes. Um, so here I'd like to kind of discuss all the references from the show and some of the little behind the scenes information that you may not have picked up on unless you did your own deep dives. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, or you'd like to hear a series discussing all of South Park in its entirety, this is South Park Explained, Episode 1, Cartman Gets an Anal Probe. So, enjoy!
And now, a fireside chat with the creators of Comedy Central South Park, Matt Stone and Trey Parker.
So you may be seeing this opening and thinking, what the hell? I thought I clicked on an episode of South Park. Well, you're right. So with many episodes from the first season, as well as the first episode from Season 2, we got these little bonus episode bumpers in which the creators, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, would explain the episode in an exaggerated manner, as well as performing these little skits as a way to drop behind-the-scenes information. Originally, these bumpers were produced and included only in the first release volume of the VHS Season 1 release. However, they were later repackaged and re-released on the Season 1 DVD as well, which is where most people would have seen them. Unfortunately, many of these bumpers are no longer available on streaming and had to be found through more nefarious ways if you still want to watch them today.
Ray, tell us about this episode.
This episode is called Cartman Gets an Anal Probe, and it's our favorite episode. In it, Cal's baby brother Ike gets abducted by aliens, and Cartman has strange things implanted in his ass.
This is, in fact, neither of their favorite episodes. Both Matt and Trey have gone on record saying that they wish that the first 3 seasons of South Park would cease to exist because they hate it so much.
I think that the reason that this episode is, well, old Scratch's favorite anyway, is because it's the only episode that Matt and I animated completely by ourselves. You see, this was the pilot episode, done before we had a series, so Matt and I had to do the whole thing by ourselves. For several months, we were locked into a cold, dark, little room for long periods of time.
Those thinking you're all cool, everyone is actually laughing at you and calling you pathetic faggots. You do realize this, right?
This is, in fact, neither of their favorite episodes. Both Matt and Trey have gone on record saying that they wish that the first 3 seasons of South Park would cease to exist because they hate it so much.
We're not married yet.
We can't even get dates.
This is no longer up-to-date information, as Trey Parker has now been married twice with 1 child, whereas Matt Stone has been married once with 2 children. Also, the dog will continue to change breeds throughout.
So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Cartman Gets an Anal Probe.
Starting off this episode, we have the iconic opening theme song, sung by Les Claypool, who is the lead singer of the 90s band called Primus, and can actually be pictured here singing the song. If you've ever heard any of their music or any of his personality, you would definitely say that he was the right choice to sing the song in the opening. But funny enough, the song they recorded initially wasn't even used in the opening, but instead was used at the end riff. When Comedy Central demanded a faster song for the opening, Les couldn't be bothered to record a new one, as they didn't have an official contract with the studio, and they didn't think the show would amount to much because at the time it was only made for 1 episode. He instead just told them to speed up the song and let that be it. But Matt and Trey, who were huge fans of his work and actually met and bonded over the band Primus, decided they were going to track him down on concert and get backstage and have him re-recorded on a handheld microphone. Which is exactly what they did. And that's how we ended up with the iconic opening, sung by the lead singer of Primus, Les Claypool, backstage at a concert with a handheld tape recorder by 2 overzealous fans and their weird little passion project about 8-year-olds. Many of the characters used in the first opening song are very minor background characters, as they had yet to flesh out a full cast. For example, this man is Boom Mike Operator. He is so minor that he will only appear in a few episodes, and he's actually colored in with the wrong color palette in this opening.
South Park, gonna have myself a time.
Friendly faces everywhere, humble folks without temptation.
In these two shots, we can see the Frosty vs. Jesus, the Spirit of Christmas special, as well as the Jesus vs. Santa special.
Come on down.
Kenny was actually given real lyrics for the song. The actual lyrics go, "I like girls with big fat titties. I like girls with big vaginas." You can actually hear him saying this word for word. Comedy Central was asked by the FCC to remove the lyrics in the song, but they argued that the muffled speech was censoring enough and was allowed to keep the song in the opening going forward.
School days, teachers go. Ah, damn it!
Here we can hear Kyle saying the very first curse word of the entire series. Luckily, this is only a momentary slip of profanity and will not happen again throughout the series, or so I'm led to believe. Starting off the episode, we have the four boys waiting at the bus stop. This is a reoccurring theme that we see in many of the episodes. For those of you that are unaware, this is a song called School Days, which is an actual song from the 90s, often sung by elementary school students.
Yeah, go home, you little dildo. Oh, what's a dildo? I don't know. And I'll bet Cartman doesn't know either. I know what it means. I'm not telling you. What's a dildo, Kenny?
Kenny is the only one of the boys who actually knows what a dildo is, as he can be heard saying, "It's a giant stick that goes inside the mom's vagina."
Whoa, Cartman. Looks like you didn't get much sleep last night. That's because I was having these bogus nightmares. Really? What about?
Cartman looks way too happy here for a kid that was just abducted from his house.
Scary aliens wanted to operate on me. And they had big heads and big black eyes. Dude, visitors. Totally. What? Man, those were visitors. No, visitors are real. Yeah, they abduct people and they mutilate cows.
And we can see just this in the opening song.
Hello there, children.
Hey, Chef.
And here we have Chef making the first canonical appearance of any adult character in South Park. Chef was a very important character in the beginning of South Park, often acting as a guiding light and beacon for the young boys, as he would often come and impart wisdom, usually through inappropriate song and dance. Amazingly enough, he was actually voiced by Grammy Award-winning artist Isaac Hayes, before having a very public falling out with Matt Stone and Trey Parker, though it would come out later over the years that he may not have been involved with the spat at all, and that all of his actings and doings were enacted against his will by the Church of Scientology itself.
Did they give you an anal probe?
Ah, what's an anal probe?
That's when they put this big metal hoopajou up your butt.
Why would they do that, dildo?
Well, I got to get to the cafeteria. You children watch that fat boy now. He could be under alien control.
I love this shot because it actually allows us to see that whoever designed the shirt was inaccurate. The visitors that we see later in the episode do not in fact have noses. This can be a subtle allusion to the fact that the person who designed the shirts was unfamiliar with the visitors, or it could just be a small animation error on the creator's part. I don't frickin' know.
For the game. Purple. Kick the baby. Good morning, Miss Crabtree. Sit down. We're running late.
Miss Crabtree was the original bus driver for the South Park Elementary School. She is likely a parody of the bus driver from Forrest Gump, who was also very crass and rude, though she might share a resemblance to the Mrs. Crabtree who was a bus driver on The Little Rascals, though that Mrs. Crabtree was much more caring and nice. Both are, however, still dead. How the hell did I get back on this side?
Damn it, he's still there. Don't worry about him. No, dude, if something happens to him, my parents are gonna blame me.
Here we can see that it's clearly impossible for the kids to look out of the window given the massive height difference. Cal, however, is a Jew.
We have to do something. Well, we can't do anything for now. That fat bitch won't let us. What did you say? I said that rabbits eat lettuce.
That is, in fact, not what he said.
Oh. Well, yes, they certainly
Back
do.
in the 1990s, bus drivers were not only allowed to hurt, but were also encouraged to abuse their children. If you don't believe me, I would highly recommend you ask some stories from somebody over the age of 30.
Shit. What am I gonna do? My little brother's been abducted by aliens. You farted. Somebody's baking brownies.
A common euphemism from the time.
This is nothing out of the unusual. Cows turn themselves inside out all the time.
People been saying they've been seeing UFOs around.
This is Bill Dinkins, also called Rancher Bob, who appeared in a lot of the earlier seasons, like when Cartman used his farm and his plans with Scott Tenorman, or when all the elementary boys held his farm hostage in an effort to stop people from eating baby veal.
something funny going on.
There's nothing funny going on. I'll get those cows back.
Officer Barb Brady was originally used in the series as a stand-in with the stereotypes of small-town negligent cops. He still has as many uses in modern seasons, but has largely been replaced by Detective Yates and his police department. Starting off with our first shot in the elementary school, we have many familiar faces, such as the loving Butters and Token sitting in the front of the class. We, however, have several unfamiliar faces that we will only see a handful of times, such as Kevin Stoley and Dog Poo Patuski. And yes, that is his real name.
Our friend Mr. Hat is going to tell us about Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus discovered America and was the Indians' best friend. He helped the Indians win their war against Frederick Douglass and freed the Hebrews from Napoleon.
Mr. Hat is a character that we will see a lot of in the earlier seasons of South Park. He's a character created by Mr. Garrison as a way to channel his closeted homosexuality as well as his radical racist beliefs and extremist ideologies. Though there is debate and speculation on whether or not Mr. Hat is conscious. We'll get into that later in the series.
Ask Cartman! They gave him an anal probe! That's a little joke. Mr. Garrison, seriously, I have to go!
Even though the kids are currently supposed to be learning about Christopher Columbus, here we can see that the picture in the back of the classroom is actually a portrait by the Dutch Golden Age painter Frans Hals, called the Laughing Cavalier from 1624.
Mr. Hat, may I please be excused from class?
No! You hear me? You go to hell! You go to hell and you die!
Mr. Hat yelled at you.
Flammable flatulence are a very reoccurring element of South Park, with the movie Bigger, Longer, and Uncut centering around a movie produced by Terrence and Phillip called Asses of Fire, which also includes the death of Kenny, who died after lighting one of his farts on fire. Though luckily he's revived and saved by George Clooney before dying in an unfortunate baked potato accident.
About 3 seconds to live.
Ah, fucking weak, dude! Oh my god, they killed Kenny! You bastards!
Hey, you cows can't get on this train. This is a people train.
This is the South Park Express conductor. He is only featured in 3 episodes over the first 2 seasons. While this train may seem pretty large, it is actually only the second largest locomotive in all of South Park, coming in directly behind the train that is ran on Eric Cartman's mom every night.
Hey, look! There's Wendy Testerberger! Where?
Here we can see our first instance of Stan and Wendy's relationship. This is well before they actually started dating in the official series. The face Stan is making here is actually a reference to the Peanut comics, one in which all the characters typically make, but especially young Charlie Brown. Most of the early interactions include Wendy being very nice to Stan, and Stan promptly throwing up on her.
Kiss her, or slip her the tongue. What? How do you know she has a cat?
Kenny's line is, or look at the cat on her feet, then touch her.
Hey, Chef.
How are you doing?
Bad.
Why bad?
Chef, have you ever had something happen to you, but nobody believed you?
Cal, you ignorant shit.
Let me sing you a little song. I'm gonna make love to you, woman. Gonna lay you down by the fire.
If you slow it down right here, you can actually see that one of the creator's hands is actually still visible in the shot.
Day, make you moan and perspire. We're making love, baby, love, baby, love, 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 baby.
While breaking out into song is an iconic trait of Chef, this is the first time we've seen it in the show. This, however, would not be the last time I heard the song, as it can be heard one more time sung by Chef himself, as a zombie in the video game The Stick of Truth, as well as being used as background music in several of the levels.
I'm gonna make love to you, woman.
While an impressive anal feat, let's not forget who the real champion is.
That was cool!
It's some kind of symbiotic metamorphosis device. This is love, baby, love, love, love. Communicate with us.
Oh, I see. Now,
Maybe it wasn't only the Scientology.
if I don't get out of school and get my little brother back from the aliens, my parents are gonna disown me.
Fire drill, fire drill. Okay, children, this is your chance.
Chef was always going so above and beyond for the boys.
I know it was just a dream, I know I didn't have an anal probe, and I know that I am not under alien control.
I love to sing about the moon and the June and the
Really cool reference to the 1936 song I Love to Singa by the cartoon of the same name.
Give me back my brother! Oh my god! They killed Kenny! You bastard!
So, here we get the ever so quotable lines from Stan and Kyle, as well as the first of many deaths in the long-running gag of Kenny dying. These were always such big highlights of the show at the time, but unfortunately this gag, as well as his obsession with sex at a young age, were his only real character traits for a very long time. He did, however, have a very small stint as a hero in the South Park bigger, longer and uncut movie, but more on that when we get to it. Also here in this shot, you can see that Barb Brady's vehicle actually says to patronize and annoy.
Now do you believe us, Cartman? No! Cartman, they killed Kenny!
Believe it or not, this is one of only 2 times we ever hear Kyle call Cartman by his first name in the series. It won't happen again until Season 8, Episode 11's Quest for Ratings.
Dude, like Chef says, I gotta get a piece of lovin' while the getting's hot. Rats.
So it's a pretty well-known fact that the creators of the show, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, created Stan and Kyle to be their own insert characters for the show. And just like their creators, they also couldn't care less about Kenny dying.
Donut pancake surprise. Big bone.
Cake surprise. All the kids at school call me fat.
You're fat?
That's what I said.
You
Luann with pink lips here instead of red.
No!
just a weensy woo woo?
No! Leave me alone,
For no other reason than just because they could. They would often sneak in these realistic photos in the earlier seasons. For example, here we have a photo of Matt's sister.
How about a nice chocolate chicken pot pie then?
Well, that sounds pretty good.
You want some cheesy poofs too, Big Bone?
Yeah, I want cheesy poofs.
This is that biblical kind of gluttony.
In fields all around South Park. These crop circles, when viewed from above, form strange patterns.
Hey, that kinda looks like Tom Selleck.
Could it
Tom
be?
Selleck is a famous actor from Magnum P.I. If you don't know who he is, just ask your mom. She's probably thought of him a few times while with your dad.
No, Kitty's a bad kid. No, Kitty's not bad. Mom, Kitty's being a dildo.
Well, then I know a certain kitty who's sleeping with Mommy tonight.
What?
So if you remember earlier in the episode, Kenny actually explained what a dildo is, so now Cartman is wondering why his mom is going to stick the cat up her vagina.
Yeah. You're right, Wendy. Come on, Stan. We have to go get Cartman. Come on, Stan. Ew.
Aw, not in the hair.
When do I get to make sweet love?
Well, not now.
No, Kitty, this is my bad kid. Excuse me, Kitty.
So this is actually in contrast to the later parts of the series, in which we see that Cartman loves cats and was actually willing to risk his safety in order to save them.
I think you need to spend time with your little friends.
Wait, Mom, I don't want to spend time with my little
Don't be
friend.
difficult, Eric.
Here we can see they fixed Luann's lip color.
Oh, man, this sucks. How come the visitors aren't coming for him? I think we have to signal them somehow. Ow! Hey!
As we talked earlier, this entire episode is made by hand with paper cutouts, and the starry sky in the background is actually created by illuminating the backside of a poster board that had little holes pricked in it with a pen.
Now listen! Why is it that everything today has involved things either going in or coming out of my ass?
This little 6-second clip perfectly sums up Matt and Trey's entire writing style. Also, there's no way he would not feel the weight of that thing sticking out of his butt.
Hey, down here, we are ready for your wisdom. And you only got 20 minutes before Sanford & Son is on.
Sanford & Son was a 1970s black sitcom starring Red Fox.
I tell you, there's some crazy stuff going on in this town. You can say that again, Mr. Garrison.
Wait a minute. Does this count as a hand job or as a blowjob? Either way, you can use a glove as protection.
That was beautiful, dude. They're leaving. Hey, you squatty ass shit! What the is wrong with you? You must be some kind of to be able to ignore a crying child! Whoa, dude!
And Kyle actually drops our first F-bomb in the entire series.
Hey, Wendy, what's up?
Both Stan and Wendy will be shown to know what the F-word means later on in the show.
Mike, do your impersonation of David Caruso's career!
At the time, David Caruso was an actor from the 80s and 90s, who could be seen as a somewhat failing actor after starring in a lot of underwhelming movies at the time. But the really ironic part about this quote is that after this episode aired, He actually became more famous after landing the starring role in CSI Miami. You know, that's part of what really makes it interesting to go back and watch these older episodes, is that you can see some of the predictions that Matt and Trey make, whether it be through their satire and jokes or actual predictions, and see how they line up with the future. And as we can see in future episodes, sometimes they don't really hit the nail quite on the head.
God.
Wait! Where are you going, alien visitors? Come back!
Well, Chef, where's this amazing thing you're gonna show us?
Well, it's in the bedroom, ladies. Come on in.
Chef was, of course, very well known for his pipe-laying prowess, having slept with half the women in South Park, including even Cal's mom.
So hot, honey. Warm.
Ew! Sorry. Hey, look! A french fry. Cool. And what is that? I think it's part of a cheesy poof. Hey! What's that? That's,
Despite Chef saying the earlier lunch items were Salisbury steak with butter noodles, a choice of green bean casserole, or a vegetable medley, Stan does not mention a single one of these items in his vomit.
I had this crazy nightmare last night. Really? What about? Well, I was standing out in a field, and I had this huge satellite dish sticking out of my butt. And then there was hundreds of cows and aliens, and then I went up on the ship, and Scott Baio gave me pink eye.
Scott Baio was an out-of-prime actor at the time who was really famous for playing in the Happy Days series. I'm not entirely sure the reference that they're trying to make here, but it seems to be that around the time of the episode's airing, he had a hoax going around Hollywood that he was dead, and this was kind of an allusion to some of the more absurdist ideas of where he could possibly be, including hanging on an alien spaceship with Cartman.
You do have pink eye. Ah, son of a bitch!
Well, that's the end of the first ever aired episode of South Park. If you've made it this long into the video, thank you so much for watching. This is a project that I've been wanting to do for years, and it's really been so much fun starting out. I have plans to release more episodes going forward, with at least one per week. So if you like what you see here, and you want to see more, please consider liking this video and subscribing to see all my future content. And until then, ciao.